CC off. All right. I'm ready, boys. I'm ready. Algorithm for you to advice. What is the advice? Oh, dude, I can't look at the slipper. I got shit to do here. DEI extraction shooter. Okay. Why would you get rid of the countdown timer? Like, was it going to start in 2 minutes? It's going to start in 10 seconds? What is going to happen here? I don't know. Help me. Please. Anything but Path of dog shit too. This Path of Exile is great, guys. And I'm going to be playing and killing multiple bosses today. Oh, here we go, guys. Here we go. Here we go. Let me move my camera, make it smaller so I don't cover as much gameplay. Flashing lights sees you guys.
Back to Bungie HQ here in beautiful Washington, where we're coming to you live with the opportunity to share a little bit of marathon gameplay with you for the very first time.
A little bit.
My name's Andy. I work on the social media team here, and we've got an awesome show lined up for you with a little surprise at the end that you're going to want to stick around to. So make sure to go ahead and not tune out early. But no need to worry. You're not going to have to sit here and listen to me. I'm joined by some of my teammates here at Bungie to walk us through some of what we're going to be seeing today. So no time like the present. Let's get into the show. First things first, this gentleman here to my right, to your left, is Marathon's game director, Mr. Joe Ziegler. Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you very much. Super excited to finally show something about our game, you know? We've been a little bit silent for a while, but we're hoping you'll have a lot of fun today.
Yeah, we'll have another video in addition to the one of just you in your office hanging out.
Exactly, so I won't be talking for like 20 minutes straight this time, I promise,
So for anyone out there that may not know you or what you do here, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself?
I work with a lot of amazing people, some of the people on this stage, a lot of people who are sort of in the audience here today. My goal is ultimately to take sort of all the ideas that we have, bring them together in a singular experience and help to deliver that experience as a single thread, so. Just love that.
Thank you very much for being here today, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. As we go on down the line, we're also joined by a man who's been instrumental in bringing the worlds of both games and film to life, our franchise art director, Mr. Joe Cross. Joe, how's it going?
Joe! Give one clap, I don't know who the fuck you are.
Joe, for anyone, obviously you've got some fans here, but for anyone out there in the audience at home that may not know you or doesn't get a chance to work with you, can you tell us just a little bit about who you are and what you do here?
Yeah, so I'm Joe Cross. I'm franchise art director of Marathon. And my job is to sort of set the tone and the vision, the visual style of this, reimagine this IP and this amazing game. And then, make sure that our world-class art team is set up for success. Paving the way a bit.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for everything. We're going to have a lot to dig into today, so thank you for being here as well.
Thank you.
As we go right on down the line, we have, without a doubt, the most important Andrew on this stage here today, our gameplay director, Mr. Andrew Witz. How's it going, Witz?
Game director, guys. This guy. Well, this is Jonathan Rogers of the Marathon.
Witz, for anyone out there that may be just meeting you for the first time, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, Andrew Witz. I'm the gameplay director. What basically means is I had to work with a bunch of awesome people to set up what the survival sandbox
not game director.
Marathon is going to be. So that's runners, weapons and equipment, and the combatants, the UESC, that are going to be hunting players on Tau Ceti. So what up to the gameplay team?
He/him.
And of course, last but exceptionally not least, someone who you've probably seen in Bungie Vidocs in the past and someone who's been able to help guide design here at Bungie since Halo 3, the one, the only Senior Design Lead here, rather, the one, the only Mr. Lars Bakken.
Yo, Lars Bakken. Wait, who the fuck's this guy?
Thank you. Thank you.
Lars, we're back.
You could say Marathon's back.
You could. I'll leave that to you, though. Well, for anyone out there in the audience who may not get that reference and is just meeting you for the first time, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself and what you do here?
Yeah, my name is Lars Bakken. I'm a senior design lead on the Run team. Shout out to Run team, everyone that's out there right now. A lot of fans out there. So the Run team is consisting of, we make the maps, so the zones that you're going into. We make the activities, so we take some of the cool stuff that Andrew's team, we remix it, we add the UESC in, we make them real difficult on purpose. And then we also have the contracts team, which are the factions, the
show gameplay.
corporations that players are sort of doing deals with because they're mercenaries. And that gets a little bit down into sort of the missions and everything. And so that's the stuff I hopefully make everyone proud with.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that here very shortly, but no, thank you all for starters all for being here. Before we get started as well, a quick reminder, do yourself a favor, make sure you've got your Bungie and your Twitch account linked to make sure you don't miss out on the Twitch drop that's going on right now. And if you also go ahead and subscribe to any channel in the Marathon directory, you can get a special little cat badge next to your name to go ahead and show everyone
cat badge
that you're
if
here
you
today.
sub!
So go out there, find a streamer you haven't found before, and make sure and drop a sub out there and share the love.
Drop a
and
sub!
Also, if you have dropped your sub here on Marathon the Game, worry not.
I was wondering why so many people are watching this premiere, bro.
Help them do some good out there.
Oh my God!
And now we have a big show.
Like way too many people watching this premiere.
Some gameplay on the way coming up very shortly.
400K
we had a chance
people.
to go ahead and work with some creators and press very recently.
Just
and we're
trying to
show you
farm
what
subs.
they thought of the game. And of course, again, I'll repeat
Jesus.
myself, but we've got something really great for you at the end of the show. So make sure and stick around.
Wait, they're sponsored?
But again, the purpose of today is to show off some gameplay. Mr. Joe Ziegler, I'd love to hand the
Oh,
mic
I'm
to you
not.
for
This is
next
not an
part.
ad.
Yeah,
Not an
so
ad.
before we
I'm
get
not doing
started,
an ad.
obviously there's
We
a
just
lot
make sure
to
people
talk about today. We have a little bit of a taste
game
to
looks
show you
dog
about
shit.
what our game is about, just
game
to kick
looks
us off,
dog
so we
shit.
can put some images to what we've been talking about here. So let's take a look.
Okay. See ya. Yo, Chevro. Get the Chevro. Get the cat badge. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, this gameplay looks questionable so far.
Death. The end of all things. But the dream is not over. My dream. Yours. Now. Run.
I mean, it's certainly got a unique art style, so you could recognize the game from other games. Was this an extraction shooter or what? Okay, I like that they got blue blood. I like that they got blood. I thought it was lame when they started to shoot him and it turned into little pixels. Dude, that old lady is not hyped for this game.
You saw that correctly. Marathon will be releasing just
No.
later this year on September 23rd. So you'll be
There's like
able to
two
check out
old
the
ladies
company
there.
very
One of them-
shortly. And in
She had to
addition
be
to that, coming
57.
just later this month, on April 23rd, we're going to be running a closed alpha test that you can be a part of. Now, as a quick heads up, this is going to be focused on North America, 18 plus only. So there's going to be a big chance to play up front, but don't worry, there's going to be other opportunities to play later. So to make sure you're caught up with all the details and you're ready to go, do yourself a favor, head over to our Discord at discord.gg/marathonthegame. And of course, if you're here in Twitch chat with us today, then you've already done yourself a big favor. Members of our community and moderation teams are going to be going out and looking for folks to to drop codes to as well to make sure that you can get priority access when the alpha kicks off. So go ahead and keep an eye out on your inbox. There's no exclamation point drops or anything.
That audience could actually
I'm
be
sure folks will do it
active.
anyway. But worry not, you've gone ahead and done yourself a favor by being here today. But let's get into it. What did we just see?
Thank you, MG92
A
team.
lot of death, is first what we all saw. But honestly, you saw a first glimpse of some of what's going on in Marathon, our extraction shooter that we're creating over here. And it's got a little bit of everything. It's got some runners in there. It's got some weapons in there. It's got some crazy stuff happening, but yeah.
Yeah, a little taste of the weapons in there. You saw some alternate weapon actions. The flip scope is in there, so weapons are going to do more than just shoot, obviously. It's a Bungie game. We got to really push things. A lot of runner abilities are in there as well. The UESC, obviously a little taste of the UESC and what they're capable of. A lot of awesome stuff.
And some fun world interactions too. Like there's that sequence where the shutters go down and then everything goes wrong for the team that's in that room. But it's pretty cool to see those things.
Yeah, everything goes wrong, the Andy Salisbury story. Mr. Ziegler, so why are we making Marathon? Why is Bungie going into the extraction shooter space?
Extraction shooters are something that are a passion of all of ours. Like we really like the idea of bringing this experience that we've all enjoyed, which is this kind of intense survival-based experience where you are frequently unsure of what's going to happen next, but you're on that adventurous ride of it. We talk about it sort of like it's a horror story that's kind of unfolding before you, and testing yourself to see if you can survive it. And we really wanted to take that and sort of, bring a lot more people into it. When you love something, you really kind of want to just, attract others to it, and so you can have a bigger party with it. And so, we've been doing a lot of work to make that happen.
Yeah, no, it shows. And Lars, obviously, Bungie's got a long history of shooters, but this is a new type altogether for us to dive into. From your side, what's it been like designing for all of this?
It's been fantastic. So when I started at Bungie, it was on the multiplayer team. And I am a competitive person in my nature. I really enjoy PvP. And so having to take that in the Marathon game and think about every single angle of every design, knowing that there will be other human beings in, around, and on the other side of it has just been fascinating and really exhilarating for myself personally, and I also know for the team.
Yeah, it's been really exciting to see. And obviously, you mentioned we saw a lot. We saw some runners. Mr. Witz, can you do me a favor to introduce these 4 runners that are going to be available when the closed alpha test begins?
Yeah, for sure. We'll have 6 runners at launch, but we're focusing on the core 4 here they're going to be in the alpha. So going left to right, we have Locust. Locust is our soldier kind of fantasy, our soldier kit, all about push forward gameplay, right? The first one in, trying to get as many picks as possible, right? Against either the UESC or other players. Next, we have Blackbird. It's a very reconnaissance-based kit, all about figuring out where players and enemies are in general and punishing poor positioning. Glitch is our agile disruptor kind of kit, all about pushing forward, disrupting enemy teams and what they're doing and getting out and kind of having that kind of cycle. Void is our stealth boy, our sneaky boy, all about throwing down smokes, going a full active camo cloak, into the darkness, getting some reses, and then taking some people by surprise. So this is our core 4 right now. For alpha.
A lot of different playstyles to choose from out of the gate. And even furthermore, Joe Cross, also, if anyone's not following Joe Cross on Twitter, do yourself a favor and do so. But you've been sharing some art with these runners pretty recently out there on Twitter with everyone. Before the show, we were talking a little bit, and I've heard this come up a lot, but you guys have been working off of this concept of graphic realism. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is and what that means for the design here?
Yeah, it's one of our ingredients that we've sort of conjured up to help us define the visual world. For these runners, the first thing we wanted to make sure was their visual fantasy reflected the gameplay fantasy well. And then we sort of have our unique recipe of influences and inspirations for the reimagining of this world.
It's branding.
And one of those sort of constraints we've created is this idea of graphic realism, where we kind of reduce the amount of geometry, we limit our materials, we use a lot of graphic design and color, and we sort of use it as a tool to onboard artists who are working on the project. And then it doesn't hurt to have a world-class concept team cranking this stuff out. And that's sort of the origin of a lot of these designs.
Yeah. And obviously the world of Marathon has so much legacy to it as well. As a kid who grew up playing it, I know it well myself. But what's it been like stepping into this world?
It's amazing. Yeah, for art geeks out there, the sort of the father of the marathon visual world in a lot of ways is this guy, Craig Mullins, who you see art represented on the left, started out as a fan, then got incorporated into the IP officially by Bungie. And so his legacy looms super large. And we've always tried to, pay attention, pay homage, make sure we were doing justice. And you can see here in the center, this is kind of a proto-runner we developed early in the process to make sure that, our sort of approach to graphic realism and style
but you look way cooler
lined
here.
up and sort of represented that. And then on the right here, sort of an evolution into one of our actual runners here, Blackbird, with a similar fantasy.
How did it get worse each time?
So I think it's working out well. And I think we're, doing something new, but also sort of looking back.
It's like a 3-panel study on how to hold the spine, right? Is what you're looking at.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Yeah.
Is it a spine?
I don't know. It could be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, that said, if anyone out there in Twitch chat as well has any questions, go ahead and drop them in. We're going to try and answer as many as we can. We're going to be showing, again, a lot of stuff today. So if you've got anything that comes to mind, please feel free to throw it in there. Folks on the community team are going to be keeping an eye out. But, we've obviously got a chance to go ahead and dive a little deeper. We've done some telling. Let's go ahead and do some more showing by taking a bit of a deeper dive into some more marathon gameplay.
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. This is one. I want to see slowed down, just like what a run would look like. Okay, if you were just playing the game normally. Not like a sequence of cuts. Just 5 minutes of gameplay. Not this. Okay, so okay.
Marathon is a team-based extraction shooter set around the mysterious and cutthroat world of Tau Ceti 4. You are a runner, a cybernetic mercenary who's given up their human form for a biosynthetic shell with unique abilities and stats, capable of both tactical and fast-paced combat. Here you'll fight in a crew of up to 3 players across a variety of zones and points of interest. You'll face rival runners in zones of up to 18 players, countless security forces, and otherworldly threats.
It's like
To
Tarkov,
scavenge
but
the remains of a lost colony
Apex Legends or something.
for glory and fortune. The environments of Tau Ceti 4 are filled with weapons, materials, and equipment you can scavenge throughout the map. Before deploying, you'll strategically build your loadout and select a runner to ensure you're equipped for the
Characters
run
move
ahead.
really slow, eh?
Your objective is simple. Get in, gather as much loot as you can, and make it out alive. Die, and all your gear will be up for grabs. Survive, and your loot can be taken into future runs as you grow in power and fill your vault. Death is inevitable, but it's never the end. Think quickly on your feet and outplay your opponents, and in your next run, you and your teammates will be the ones coming out on top.
Surely.
And even if you're down on your luck, factions can sponsor you with a fresh loadout, so you can get right back into the fight. Bungie brings its best-in-class first-person multiplayer action to the forefront. Dynamic and tactile gunplay, runners with unique playstyles, and customizable builds create highly dynamic and strategic team fights.
It's like Halo, but reskin.
Whether you're on a zero-to-hero run or high-rolling with powerful gear, you'll need to use your best judgment when you decide which fights to pick and how. Because no matter how geared you are, players with skill and strategy will always have the edge.
That's lame, bro. That's lame.
Marathon is designed to be played in crews, with contextual pings, shared objectives, and down but not out, to streamline playing with your friends. Death is not the end. And if you're the last one standing, you can overcome the odds to revive your teammates and get out with your hard-earned loot.
What, a bag?
And if you believe your skills alone are enough to conquer any challenge, we give you the freedom to opt out of crew fill to take all the glory for yourself as a solo runner.
I
No
must
two
admit,
runs
this
in
stealth
Marathon
guy with a
ever
knife
play
looks
out the
fun.
same, with dynamic events, variable weather, and unpredictable players, you'll have to adapt on the fly if you want to survive. Each run has a time limit, and anything can happen while you're chasing your objective. Looking to unlock upgrades or increase your faction reputation? Slip into the shadows as Void and ghost past your enemies. Search the map for rare materials and profit opportunities without being discovered. Want to push enemy teams and steal their loot? Bring in Glitch with agility implant and your strongest weapons to disrupt rival crews. Running support for your friends, grab extra equipment, shield charges, and a specialized backpack to be the lifeline they need. You're always free to experiment with team compositions, and the only limit to how you want to play your runner is your loot and imagination.
Speed guy.
Endgame challenges, ranked play, discovering secrets, seasonal storytelling, community events, and more all await you in Season 1, where you and your friends will start to unravel the mysteries of Tau Ceti 4. Remember, you're only ever one run away from your next big score.
All right. It's a decent amount of gameplay. All right. Let's get into breaking this down. So I think for starters, again, as we touched on before the break, Bungie has such a rich history with Marathon. Joe Cross, from your standpoint, facilitating this gameplay with your art style, again, what was it like kind of approaching this from your perspective? What were you looking to do?
Build on the legacy. The narrative of Marathon is incredibly rich and inspirational, easy sort of inspiration for art. I also love just sort of having the keys to this car from this era, working on a game from this era. I love older games. I love the way the games look from the PS1, PS2 era. So there was a lot for us, and like I said, paying homage to some of the great sort of iconic artists of the time. So
yeah. And also we had some keen-eared folks in chat. I think it's Joey Wolfinder asked if this is Ben Starr. Yep, Ben Starr was the narrator of that piece. Excellent ear.
Great voice, right?
Yeah, super cool.
voice.
Yeah,
Wonderful voice.
He's almost an Andrew Witz, but he does his best.
Who the fuck are they on
But
about?
all right, I'm gonna put you on the spot with a tough one, Mr. Joe Ziegler.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite runner?
Ooh, controversial question. I play a variety of them, but I will say probably the one I end up playing the most is Blackbird, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Any Blackbird mains out there?
What? How? No one's played the game.
I like playing Blackbird because it's a great crew
What?
runner. It's in terms of being able to provide a lot of information, provide a lot of support.
Huh?
It's also a great runner that's kind of helps to counter a lot of strategies that can occur, especially ambush
Is it a
strategies
dev
that
audience, maybe?
happen. Also to catch Void out of position if Void's trying to hide. So yeah, there's a lot of versatility to how you can play it.
Very fun. Mr. Witz, I think you and I share the same main. I got to ask as well, who's your go-to runner?
Oh, I split my time between Locust. I'm a very push-forward kind of player, as Joe reminds me all the time, because I'm pushing too much, too often.
You don't even have a W key. It just goes.
I just love to go fast forward. That's right.
Yeah.
And so, that push-forward gameplay that Locust kind of has, right? Being the first to try and get a pick, seeing somebody out of position, going for that pick. Also, I like to play Glitch a lot too. Again, I really love that disruption playstyle. I love just finding an enemy crew trying to exfil, trying to extract, and then taking the arm cannon and just knocking them out of the zone, and now they're trapped with me and hopefully my teammates. Joe.
I'm scanning. I'm looking for enemies. It's good, yeah.
To that same end, actually, as you guys kind of discuss the runners, Destas in chat asks, what's the pacing targets to the gameplay? Are there any movement or traversal mechanics?
There are a lot of movement and traversal mechanics inside of the game, but it varies. Your effectiveness varies per runner.
Yeah, everything in we're making a survival sandbox, which means everything kind of has to have a cost, right? And so going, if you want to go fast, like Locust has a a super sprint, so to speak. Like they have leg jets that kind of come on to help you sprint even faster. That causes heat. So basically, it's almost like a stamina system, but we call it heat because we're these awesome mercenary cyborgs, right? Where like the body overheats, and so this character has like some mobility, but you overheat quite a bit. So that's kind of the cost that's there, and so that's what pushes us into like finding implants that maybe like expand like how much like your heat meter, and also give you more agility, so you can even go even faster, right? So yeah, there's a lot of cost in the game in terms of when we place a mobility thing in there, we really want to make sure. It's like, how does this affect the pace, and how does this affect the overall survival sandbox?
And to be fair, we're still looking at the alpha builds. We got to balance a lot of stuff because some stuff is kind of sketchy. Yeah.
No, we have a lot to learn. That's why we're doing this, right?
Yeah, I mean, and actually,
Yeah,
what we're
guys,
talking
this
about,
game
kind of
might
those
be
finer
dog shit
details,
actually.
which I'd love to still kind of bug you a little bit. In marathon build crafting is a big deal. What does that mean in the world that you guys are building?
Yeah, and so like the runners are essentially like a base, right? And so each runner has
PvP game.
they have a bunch of implants that you can kind of find that do kind of wild things, and like as they go up in rarity, right? There's a lot of stats, so you can increase your resistance to certain things. So like tox is one, so you can essentially be poisoned, right, as our tox, and so you can build up resistances to that. You can increase your agility. There's shields, obviously, to make you a bit more durable. We have cores. Cores are really cool. They basically give you like extra passives. And at the base rarity, like they have these kind of passives that you kind of play around.
Is the game
at the
free to
highest
play, I
rarity, they
wonder?
are specific to the runner kit that you have, the runner you're playing. And what they do is they really augment your abilities wildly, right? So you can, you're doing one thing, and then you get like a core specifically for glitch, and now you're like, oh, my double jump is a triple jump? Like that's how much we want to kind of push that, so that gear really matters. And so builds are like completely the implants, the cores, weapons, weapon attachments. Weapons have like a pretty cool progression too. We have gold mods, which are kind of like the highest end of the attachment pool. They're essentially like exotics in our game, right? What is the exotic version of this Magnum that can do some wild stuff? So yeah, like really it's the entire package together is what the build crafting.
So it's kind of like
experience is in
cyberpunk
Marathon.
system.
That's super exciting. And actually, to that same end, we got a question in chat as well from, I think, Firex is how you pronounce it. How many players are going to be in each map?
Varies per map.
Yeah, it varies per map.
Got it.
The footage that people have seen a lot of, Dire Marsh, we support up to 18 players.
Excellent.
18.
There's going to be room for a lot of play styles. To that same end, I know we talked a little bit about Void earlier as well.
Isn't that
Lars, can you
low?
walk us through maybe just your play style when you're
isn't that
approaching
low,
any of these?
or-
Sure, yeah.
Let's go ahead and sell out the best
I have
strategy.
to give away my secrets. So Void is really fun for me because it leans into this part of my personality that is like very devious. And so,
Jesus Christ.
if you go on a run with me, I'll be like, hey, any claymores you see, let me know. And I'm putting those in my backpack, and I'm doing crazy things like, okay, so Void has a prime ability that sends out, I think you saw it in the video, it sends like a wall of smoke that sort of like your home base when you do that. It's a portable. Because when you go in that, you become invisible. You get automatic active camo. So I'll do things like set that up to make people believe I'm doing one thing and then do another. So a lot of subversive things. I'll go in there and I'll claymore the inside, right? Someone comes in after me, they're gonna have a very bad time.
Hey, what about you if you're in there?
But I also do things like I'll go to a place in the zone where there's high tier loot, and I'll claymore it up, and then close all the doors and leave, and be like, I wonder if anyone's gonna show up. And then sure enough, maybe 5 minutes later, I see the shield crack in the HUD, and I'm like, yes, I can go back and see what's going on. So yeah, that's how I like to play.
Yeah, how about you, Joe Cross? What's your go-to?
He's camping, bro.
Well, if you know me, I'd rather look good and lose. So I generally pick the runner with the coolest helmet, and in this lineup, I think that's clearly Blackbird. As far as my play style, I'm typically just a decoy. So that's
It's like, Joe, go over there.
yeah,
Go over
exactly. I am
Look
the
really
worst.
great.
there. Yeah, exactly. Just stand in the open
Yeah.
for a little bit.
Yeah. So that's the end of my run story.
Fair. Well, we want to thank you all for your collective sacrifice. We appreciate it. So actually, to that same end, obviously we do a lot of play testing here internally. Witz, I know you mentioned you've got a folder of some of your best plays, but what are some of your most memorable runs so far?
Some of my memorable runs are really when I think I'm going to be doing one thing, right? Like, okay, I'm going to do a contract. I'm going to be going here. I got to go into this room. I got to interact with this device. And I think it's like, I'm safe. Like, I'm kind of doing like a routine thing. I can get in and get out if I'm like smart about it.
Is this like fake it till you make it? Pay a bunch of streamers to watch this shit? Get a bunch of actors and devs in a room that just laugh and clap at everything? Do like a high budget production thing? Is this like some fake it till you make it? Because I'm just not, I genuinely would be hyped if I saw a game and it was making me genuinely hyped. I'm not genuinely hyped. And it just feels weird. So I'm getting a weird vibe, like this whole thing is manufactured. You know?
It's kind of going crazy in other way, like all these players are jumping in.
You make it sound like you're playing so carefully, but you're not.
Listen, the tactics are happening fast.
Okay.
They're
It's just processing power.
The math is going. Like, it's happening.
I'm not an FPS player, though.
Yeah.
You are right. Then again, I'm not an FPS guy. But the thing is, if I saw a Tarkov announcement for the first time ever, I would be like, whoa, that looks kind of crazy. This effectively is that.
There's a ton of them. Yeah, there's implants,
Right?
there's cores, there's equipment.
Consumables.
There's
Grenades.
Consumables, yeah.
Let's talk about grenades.
Yeah, there's grenades.
I mean,
We have a bunch of different types of grenades in the game as well that you can loot in the world. We have valuables.
Sticky grenade,
we have backpacks.
Yeah.
Attachments, weapons, materials, keys.
and there's a bunch of stuff too that we're just, we call valuables, but like there's times when you're running low on money and you're like, I just need to do a valuables run right now, and I need to pick up these things and get my money, into my space bank. So.
Space Bank, yeah.
That actually is a good segue from, and I'm not making this name up, Ballin' Hobo asks, what do I do with the loot when I extract? Like, why does it matter in the long run?
Yeah, there's a variety of reasons. So a lot of it was really related to sort of our factions and contract system. But if you want to talk a little bit about that, Mark.
Yeah. I mean, we've got this entire system we call factions. You're doing contracts, they're like missions, and you are being greeted originally by a AI representative because you are a mercenary. You don't really have allegiance to anyone. They are going to pay you to do these jobs, and so they'll give you these missions to do. And as you're doing these missions, like Andrew said, sometimes you'll run into danger. But the cool thing about, I think, a lot of the faction and the contract system is like, you could complete the, download the agricultural survey from this one area on one of the zones, and you're doing the thing, and you've sort of done it. So even if you die, you've still made progress there, which I think is a really cool aspect of that feature. But then there's also this other meta layer where, as you're working with the different factions, they allow you to upgrade yourself over time, and so you can increase your heat meter, you can increase your loot speed, things like that.
I was gonna say, you're trying to get as much loot as possible to meet the challenge of the world, right?
Yeah.
Like essentially, different missions get harder over time, right? Which means you want to have more loot on you so you can survive longer, so just in general, be able to do fight all the different, hostile entities in the world, like get through there's a POI on a zone that's heavily fortified by UESC and all of the different units that are there, the snipers, the assault units, like you want to be able to not only withstand that and players. So there's a lot of reasons why you want to get loot again.
And honestly, like a lot of the loot translates into things like upgrades, that you utilize through the factions. But there's also an in-game store called the Black Market where you can use a lot of your currency and things like that to actually re-equip yourself if you go on a bad run, or to upgrade yourself if you need anything from that space. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons to get a lot of good loot out. I don't think I'm ever short of reasons to get loot out.
That just says something else about me, though. I'm just a loot goblin. So sometimes extraction shooters also can be seen as kind of hardcore and maybe tough to get into. What are some of the things that you guys are doing to make them easier to dive into?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things that we could talk about. One is we are obviously investing, besides doing a little bit more onboarding in the front end so players can understand a little bit about what the nature of the game mode is. We're also doing a lot to make combat something that's a little bit more approachable, but also just equally as deep and have pretty wide things. But I think Andrew could talk about it,
Yeah, we want to make, this is like a Bungie shooter, right? We want to make sure it's approachable. We nail those fantasies. Every button press feels awesome, right? And so really trying to bring that kind of, morph the Bungie action game into in the survival space where, again, everything kind of costs something, right? Getting shot, you're not going to have like a limb system where like, you know, your limb's broken or anything, but you will, like guns do stopping power, right? Which they can knock you out of sprint, they can slow you down, right? Status effects are still in the game. And so if you are hit with a chem grenade, right, you're gonna be toxed. You can be immobilized, right, which really slows you down. You can be overheated. There's all these things, and that pushes you into using consumables and making sure you have an answer for these things that happen. So we're trying to make sure that you keep the depth of the survival game, but the approachability of the action game, right? And so that's how we're trying to marry that together. And in addition to that, if you have some bad runs, right, like, and you don't have a lot of, you see your loot kind of going down, we have the sponsored kits, like it's kind of talking in the video earlier, where it's a package of gameplay items like weapons or equipment or maybe a shield or something or consumables. Yeah. That's kind of like the floor for what we think you can be really like you can be capable in the environment and actually like fight other players that actually are kitted out. So you're never feeling like the goal is that you can always clutch.
So gear doesn't matter,
even
or?
if you find somebody who's completed kitted out in like really high-end gear, because that's your payday, right? That's like the beauty of the moment of like, oh my god, I took this player and oh they have the best shield in the game. Hell yeah, you know.
Yeah. Hurts. I mean, obviously,
if you
maybe a lot of
kill
good
the
pointers
guy
for
with the
folks
best
at
gear
home
in the
taking
game
notes
with
for
the
when they
worst
get a
gear in
chance
the
to get
game.
into the alpha. But we'd be remiss if we also
Then
didn't
that means
mention
the best
how
gear
a
in the
big
game isn't
part
that
of what
good,
we
is
do
it?
here at Bungie is working
why
alongside
would you be
our
that
community,
excited?
which is why we've also had the chance since about 2022 to work with hundreds of different creators in our community as well.
Change my
to go ahead and
mind.
get some
Someone with the best gear in the game should always be the guy with the worst gear in the game. Unless the guy who's got the best gear in the game is literally fucking playing the game with their cock or something, right? Alright, that's all I'm saying. If you want to fight the guy with the best gear in the game, you should have to go find the best gear in the game of other guys and work your way up, like maybe a three-step process. You kill a guy who's got better gear than you, but not quite the best. Then you kill a guy who's better than that. And then you can kill the best guy.
Down them all again and 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 again.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
This is a new world. This is a different take on an extraction shooter.
No! No, we got out!
It's game changing. It is literally game changing.
Why do I feel like this game's gonna be a massive failure? It seems like fake. Everything seems fake about this game. It all seems fake. Everything.
This is such an exciting time for us. You are the first group outside of Bungie to playtest our alpha build.
Look daddy up, let's go.
Okay, I am ready and up. Whatever you two are.
Where's Ninja?
Yes, sir.
Where's Ninja?
Oh, we are bringing some money in this time.
Quick read.
Oh, you looking around? See
Yeah,
who's,
I'm gonna see who we're gonna read with.
Alrighty. Bio research is right next to us. You want to do the intercepts?
Yeah.
You just want to grab that real quick?
Yeah, we can do that.
You want to get going?
Yep, medal.
That should be a good one.
I didn't actually. I've not been there yet.
Okay. My dash is
okay, there's... So, for the gang, there is fall damage, and it is severe if you
There is.
drop
I got a mod earlier.
How do you know how to do that straight away?
So there are ways to reduce it.
Well, this
I
is
may
not
have
the
just
first
exploded
game.
my kneecaps.
If you dash right before you hit the ground,
you
don't take
it saves it.
It'll break the fall, yeah. Happens to the best of us.
AI on the right. Yeah, more AI inside the little shrubbery compound over there.
A hostile unit is calling for reinforcements.
Sorry. Excuse me, sorry.
You good? You good?
Yeah, still heading to field maintenance.
Yep.
Well, the bots game that's how it works. It's PvE.
Like 20 feet.
There's PvE, VP. Well, it's not PvP. It's just a game that has both PvE and PvP in it. So there's like
Are we killing them or ignoring them?
AI with a
bots
snipe up
that
above.
you can kill to farm basic gear with. Which I like that. I like that there. Now to grind up gear, like kill people with good gear.
There's a green punk right there.
There's ticks underneath.
I don't want to play it perfectly
Oh, yeah,
balanced
here,
FPS game, I tell you.
Player.
Dead one. I hit one for the kill, but I'm
Round two.
Kind of look like Halo. But with more special abilities and shit.
Down. That's all of them. Right.
Yep.
Actually, you want to do the HPT?
What is happening?
Either way, I'm getting shredded right now, so I gotta
Clear the AI outside first. They're just gonna beam us if we don't get rid of them.
We gotta.
What the? What?
That's a purple one.
I mean, honestly, bro, I can't really tell the difference between this shit and like Apex Legends or something.
Oh, hell.
So I
Wait, the
guess
one that's
if the
at
FPS guy thinks this version is better than Apex Legends,
The Grenadiers, yeah.
then probably start switching, right? But why would it be?
Little guy.
Oh, one of the guys you killed had just been weapons on him. Poor guy.
I'm not an FPS guy. This to me
That's what
looks
we
the
need,
same.
right?
They've got
Three
guns.
seconds, mechanical
They've got
status
shields. They've got little drinks they drink to get their health back.
Yeah, I'm inside with them.
Although, wait a minute. Apex Legends is not extraction, is it? It's just, that's Battle Royale.
You're just good. Yeah. I'm unlocking the box.
I just don't see the Tarkov guys getting into this, right?
Yeah, dropping in big ones too.
The Tarkov guys are all about like full immersion. Like silence, walking around a bush, hearing like a gunshot. So maybe the people, maybe it is a blend between like Tarkov and Apex.
Oh. Yeah. That's gotta be. It's gotta be.
I played one shield. There's a loot up there who's absolute. Oh my god, I almost dead. I just realised.
Where are they?
They're on the balcony.
I didn't see
south
that
200.
shit.
I got one knocked. I got one knocked.
Nice. That's
annihilated, dude. Oh my god.
On me. I'm out of ammo.
Yeah, I would say it's a self-res.
Oh, yeah, there's a sniper.
Freaking no! It's a Brian! Kill him, he's a fiend, dude.
I'm coming to you,
Bro, I would go with the shield, mate. I'd go full shield build, bro, and a knife.
Oh my god, that's it.
with the maximum dashes. Sprint at the guy with the shield. Step. You know what I'm saying?
Good stuff.
Yeah, if there could be a bleed. If I can get bleed on the knife, GG.
Okay, the knock I had was way over here. I don't see anybody over there yet.
Okay. If this is gonna go for ages, I'm not gonna watch this whole be honest, chat. This is I really don't care enough. Like
he's right there. He's right there. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll be alright. I don't give a fuck that much.
That's okay. Yeah, he's holding the angle at a distance.
So
a sniper.
Yeah, I'll move my shit down here.
And
hopefully it's over by then.
Very weak up there.
Hopefully it's over by then.
I'm underneath.
It just feels like I'm watching an ad. Right? It feels like I'm watching an ad. That's, I'll be honest. But like, not a good ad.
Got one left.
Not a good ad. Not like that. You know, when I watched the Cyberpunk, like the Cyber Hour. We show you systems for 1 hour of Cyberpunk. That was like a good ad.
There.
This feels like I'm watching. It's like I'm sitting down and I'm watching a sponsored stream for an average game.
Is he upstairs inside?
Yes, sorry, he was.
You know.
Yeah, hear him.
I'm watching a sponsored stream for an average game.
No, you said guy right there. They were shooting something.
Who knows? This could be insane, right? What if the gameplay is better than Apex Legends, right? And then it's more fast-paced than Tarkov, and then it's the perfect blend of Apex Legend and Tarkov
I think they
combo.
kind of built a ringer group. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty confident.
They built a God Squad, you could say. I feel like we might be the God Squad.
That was good. That was a good run.
Yeah.
We got knife some AI and grab some guns. We can go to field meeting.
No, stop! No more! Please stop!
I got a loot container key. Isn't there one of those around here?
Yeah, it's right here. Where did I just hear that thought? Whoa! I knifed one.
Oh my god, I'm dead. Yeah. Yeah. Something's sucking me.
Stop sucking him! It's a purple shield.
UESC reinforcement signal detected.
I found a purple enemy.
To suck at these games.
4 times and had to dump a full mag into it.
Wouldn't it?
Really?
Yeah.
It would suck to suck at these games. Right? Which is why I don't play these types of games. Thing is, you could just get good at these games, and then it'd be more fun to play these types of games.
I don't want the conquest.
Right?
LMG. I should
No, but it's fun to suck at, like, Dark Souls.
But here, take this.
Right, do you understand? It's fun to suck at Dark Souls. Because, like, whatever.
What's the question marks again?
It's a journey, and you kill monsters, and when you eventually kill a boss, it's awesome.
Oh, I think those are the
But it's not
players,
fun to
right?
suck at a PvP extraction shooter. Because you're just going to go in,
Like
you're
the cat
basically just
players?
cannon fodder, you're going to die. You go in, be cannon fodder, die. Go in, be cannon fodder, and it's like, what? Whereas at least Dark Souls, if you suck at it, well, you just take an extra, like, 50 deaths each boss.
One is
Who
broken.
cares? Right? All you are if you suck at these games is you're just content for the guy.
I knocked one.
Like, you're like another NPC to kill and be like, get a short dopamine hit whenever he kills you to see what loot you've got. That's it. That's all you are.
Found him.
Which, like, fuck that.
Prepare for increased hostile action.
Glitch is moving, glitch is moving.
Behind, yeah, Glitch is behind you at the moment. White shield, white shield.
Oh, she's scared. She's scared.
Down, down.
Very good.
Very, very nice. I called the purple. Yeah, I want the frickin' purple. There's a green on this
Purple shield? Who has that?
one. Me.
The big items, the big drops, the stuff that's like really high value, they're like, I have to get this out.
Doesn't matter if I'm playing Lucas or Void or Glitch. If I've got a better aim, I'm going to win. There's no other extraction shooter like that where I can have that kind of gameplay.
When people find out about some of the secrets and stuff, they are going to lose their mind.
1, 2, 3.
Playing so far has just been refreshing, I'd like to say. Everything felt really locked in.
This being sort of the next full Bungie experience is an exciting moment.
The game is inherently fun. I just want to play more.
Obviously, having those creators in was a whole lot of fun. Getting to work with both creators and players alike has been a privilege. It's been a great time getting to set that up. And of course, I promise I'm not saying this just because I work on the social media team here, but if you head over to our YouTube channel, we have a full 20-minute version of that. So youtube.com /MarathonTheGame is where to find us. Also, same with all of our other socials, as long as I'm at it. But Lars, obviously, again, like we talked about before that video, we're familiar with working with our community really closely, but have we ever done it this early or at this scale before?
So I've been at Bungie for a while now, since the Halo 3 days, and I think the thing, even since my time, we've been really good about is working with players, working with the community. It's something we take pride in. And on this game in particular, yeah, we brought people in, players in, much earlier into the process than I think we ever have before, and it's given us really good insight. You know, we tell them when they show up, be brutally honest, because that's how we learn, that's how we understand what needs to change, what needs to get better, and I think it's been really great.
That's been a ton of fun. I mean, even again, like these folks were all here last week. You guys were in there with them. Some of you playing as well. What was it like?
Oh, it was super exciting. Yeah, I mean, like when you have a lot of there was a combination of players who we've been engaging with for a long time, and some players who were brand new, and it was great to see sort of like the mix of the both. Especially when you got to some higher level skilled players who just joined in and immediately got it and started destroying everybody, like Tens and Lupo was in there, and but yeah, you had some pretty awesome moments, didn't you?
Yeah, so it was pretty amazing to jump in, and I'm gonna throw Nick under the bus for a moment here. Like apparently he was on the team with Brian and Jeff Keighley, and they were not having success. Y'all were like destroying them, the creators. Yeah, it's probably your team that was destroying them. So I was brought in as like a hired gun to help get Jeff through, and
thank you.
I did my job.
Mission accomplished, Lotus. Yeah.
Something that he's used to, obviously. Which also, though, you were saying you were observing a little bit as well, maybe not playing quite as much. What was it like, from your perspective, getting to see all these folks jump in and play the game for the first time? Some of them.
I mean, it was awesome. It's awesome, like playing the game for so long, right, and seeing other people play the game is just a great feeling, right, for like the whole team. You get to see things that you designed for happen, and in real life, right? You see people who are like being hunted by other players that take refuge by like we're a heavily fortified area, and watching the UESC equalize a little bit. Moments like that was great. There was another fight that was like it looked so fun, but also hilarious, but also like really like. It was like a great time, but also really tense. There was two crews that were fighting under the dire marsh map. There's a bunch of tunnels and stuff like that, and they were fighting in the tunnels. And the fight was literally like almost 1-by-1s, like 3 and 3, like constantly moving towards each other and fighting in the hallway. The person in the front dropping meds for people in the back and changing positions. And that fight went into like little vents as well. So it was like this it was this hilarious chase that was like. It was super tense because you didn't know exactly whether you were going to get third party, and they were just like the volume of the room kept on going up from those two crews because they were just like, what are they going to get? Like, there's another vent right there that could pop up from there. They were shooting vents just like out of just pure paranoia. It was awesome to watch.
Good balance to strike, obviously, yeah. And you, again, we were mentioning you got to play. Were there any other creators you got to dive in with?
Oh, yeah, I was on a team with Valkyrie and Katamina, and we had a lot of fun. There was like a couple moments where we bunkered down underneath a greenhouse in the tunnels underneath. Tunnels are dangerous, and they were fun. But we basically created like a little claymore nest down there, and so we were baiting them down into it.
Holy shit, you guys hate that!
I'm telling you, the claymore strats are good.
Whoa!
Don't sleep on claymores. They're great. Yeah.
Lars is like, I know.
Oh my God! Wait,
so even in addition to these creators, the legacy of Marathon's community goes so long goes so far rather. As someone who's played a lot of Aleph 1 in the past as well myself, back on my Titanium T4 power.
Oh my God! I thought maybe like half of chat was enjoying this, and I thought half of chat was enjoying this. So I felt bad. I was like, we'll just finish it because it's probably gonna end soon. Dude, 96%? Oh my God, I'm sorry. Wait, what the fuck? Bro, that's crazy. That's crazy. You guys fucking hate this shit. Oh, my bad. All right, I didn't know it was that bad. All right, if you guys want to watch the rest, for the fucking 6% of guys who want to watch the rest, here it is. That's the rest for the. I'm sorry, the guys. I'm sorry for the whatever the. That's crazy. 4% of chat like it. 96% of chat hate it. That's insane, actually.
Tell me, Quinn. Exactly how stupid are you?
Oh my God.
Animals be crazy and rams have a blunt weapon on their head.
Oh my God, Chet, I'm sorry.
Alrighty, partner.
Well, I don't think I've ever watched anything where people unanimously dislike it that much. Actually, like that is